I started making this video, and then my son accidentally dropped his food all over, his dinner all over the floor. So today is Saturday, and I have Saturday night dinner, which is Italian chicken cutlets with pinto beans. I have barbecue sauce, Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and mustard on mine. And then I'm having a strawberry watermelon Gatorade for my drink. And I was like, I haven't made a good mukbang in a while, and I have so much to talk about right now. So much has happened in the past couple of days, and it's crazy. So why not put two together? So when I made my August blessings video and I put that title on there, I didn't think that was going to happen. That's not what I was going to say. I didn't think that it was going to be a part 2, and I was going to do that. And now it looks like August has blessed us. The beginning of August has been such a blessing to our family. It has been insane. They've been like really obvious blessings, and it's been very clear cut. But they've come in between some hardships. So yesterday, me and my husband woke up to finding out that my bike had been stolen. Now, this was after finding out a week prior to this that my husband's bike was stolen off our front porch. We've already made police reports. We've already contacted police. They contacted our landlord. And basically our landlord told the police that she has to go over the camera footage of the security cameras on property. So whatever that means. But so after this had happened, me and my husband basically were kind of just like bummed out, obviously. And we were sitting there and, talking about everything. I might have already talked about this in my other video, but whatever. And a couple of gentlemen approached us, and they were walking up our sidewalk. My husband's like, who are these guys? They were dressed in suits. They started witnessing to us about Jesus Christ. Twenty 25 minutes earlier than that, we were already talking about Jesus and the blessings in our life, and I told my husband it was just a distraction. The bike getting stolen. These guys that were witnessing start quoting and talking about the book of Philippians. I want to say it was chapter 4, verses 6 through 7, where it's talking about don't be anxious for anything, and don't be worried about anything, because the Lord, is going to help you through it, kind of thing. Me and my husband are completely floored by that. We're like in awe. Our jaws are on the floor. Jesus himself once came out to our front door and knocked and told us, everything's going to be okay. So today we get up, next day, we wake up, and my husband comes running up to me. He says, a little backstory on my husband. My husband was adopted when he was a kid. He was adopted by a pastor and his wife. He never knew anything of his biological family because they never told him. This morning he comes up to me and he says, I have another brother. And he just contacted me. My real biological brother. And he's been looking for me for years. I'm like, what? You know. And sure thing, he was. Now, that's a bone. Back around 2017, 2018, my husband accidentally found out through one of our government buildings here his biological parents' names on accident. The worker accidentally told him. So he knew already prior who his real biological parents' names were. And this guy knew his biological parents' names. He knew things that nobody would know. So then the floodgates start opening. Now he starts talking about my husband's grandmother, biological grandmother, his biological aunt, his mother, and his father. He's got pictures. He's got it all. We're in tears. I'm literally crying so hard this morning. I cried probably for a good hour and a half. I was so happy for my husband. He found his family. After all these years, at 37 years old, my husband finally found his family. Or 36 years old, my husband finally found his family. Well, sad part is, he found out his mother doesn't really talk to anybody. I guess they think that the reason why the grandma and his aunt think that it's because of the pain. She doesn't want to face it, and she doesn't want to face the questions that my husband and her other son and her daughter, which is my husband's sister, have. And then my husband asked about his dad. Two months, his dad was killed. In a freak accident involving a semi-truck. 2 months. 2 months. And my husband, just by 2 months, my husband didn't get the chance to meet his biological father. He found out that his dad, through the grandma, never stopped loving his sons. Never stopped loving his kids. And the reason why he left it's pretty much what I had assumed for years. I kind of already knew. They were very young when my husband and his brother and sister were born. So, at that time, and chapter of their lives, they couldn't take care of them. And so, that's where the adoption process came in, and that's when Dave, my husband, ended up getting adopted out. My husband's real name is not Dave. He's known that as well too, on accident. He found out because the government building asked him, they looked at him and went, Trevor, I'm not going to say his last name because of privacy, but he was like, Trevor, your mother is, and your father is. And he just stared at my husband, and my husband goes, no. He goes, I was adopted. And then all of a sudden it clicked. And my husband was like, wait a minute, is that my real biological parents? And like the guy like was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I screwed up. He goes, I wasn't supposed to go in those files. It says confidential. But it was already too late. The cat was out of the bag. And the guy wasn't supposed to tell my husband this. He goes, yeah. There. And that's your name. My husband on that day, I will never forget the expression that was on my husband's face. When you are in a relationship with an adopted child, when you with somebody that's been adopted, when that kind of situation happens, the looks on their face, they're not an adult anymore. They're a child. They go right back to being a child again. And it's just so freaking heartbreaking, you guys. Like, I stared at him and I was like, I felt his pain. I jumped up. And I was like, do you have any, he couldn't give out anything, right? I searched and searched and searched off the information that he gave us. I remember just going through Facebook that night, just for like night after night after night. I found nothing. So, it was a good thing, and he's happy. My husband is very, very happy that he found the family that he did find, and he got answers, and he saw pictures, and he saw his grandmother. He talked to his grandma on FaceTime, and they plan on meeting. The sad part is, and what broke my husband, obviously, was he was 2 months away from seeing his father, and talking to him, and having conversations, and learning about his ways and his personality, and seeing if it matches up with his. And he did find out that his dad gave him a nickname when he was a newborn, and it was T. Lee, because his biological name is Trevor Lee. His middle name is Lee. And my husband just thinks that's great. Like, he loves that. So, who wants to get it tattooed on him? His adoptive parents, he found out, lied to him. A lot of things were true. They did tell the truth on a lot of things, because his biological parents confirmed it. But not everything. And it's just a really tragic. We all cried. I woke up this morning I had already had a headache. My 5-year-old actually was sick. He woke up with 103 fever. He's been throwing up today. He's at the doctor's right now with my husband. All this is going on. Our 5-year-old is sick. It's crazy. Pretty cool, though. Pretty cool. I found out his dad was a Marine Corps. He has pictures of him in his uniform. That was cool. Because I have military on my side of the family, and we always wondered. He does. He has military on his side of the family as well. He has very, very strong German bloodline. They are all pretty much German. And he also found out, which I'm not happy about this at all, and it's really annoying, and I was like, his brother ended up doing a test, like he ended up doing one of those ancestry tests or whatever. Yeah, he found out they're related to Hitler. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, that sucks. I was like, oh. Hey. No. They all look alike. My husband, his brother, his grandma, his aunt, his mom, his dad. You can tell they're all related. Like, very strong genes. My husband, the looks on his face this morning, I mean, he went right back to being a kid. I hated it when he said, and they cried. He knew it was coming. He knew he was going to ask, why did they give me away? Broke everybody. Everybody started crying. And my husband's crying, I'm crying, his brother's crying, his aunt's crying, like everybody's crying. And I think I'm chewing on a piece of gristle. It mostly was because of the fact that, and my husband already knew this. He was, I mean, he's not stupid. I mean, we pretty much put the puzzle pieces together ourselves, like, years ago on our own. We were, like, in our late 20s, early 30s, and we talked about this, and we already figured it out. So, it was pretty much just, you know, they were too young. And when they were born, and they couldn't take care of them. So, at that time. And the sucky part about it is that my husband's adoptive family, they hid a lot of information from him for years. They lied to him about a lot of stuff for years. And I understand that they were doing it probably to protect him. They were trying to keep him from getting his heart crushed. But the truth is that you're really doing more damage to somebody when you do that. You're not really, you know, let them find out on their own. Any adoptive child is going to always, when they get older, wonder about who they really are. And they're going to wonder about who their biological family is. It's normal. All adoptive kids do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all adoptive kids do it. Maybe some don't. I don't know. But most adoptive children will ask. When you're lying to a child, you're not really serving yourself any justice, because they're going to get to their own rightful age and they're just going to find out anyways. And it's better coming from you, the person that raised them, because that's love. That's showing love and appreciation and, you know, respect for that child, because you are putting it to them gently, and they're in a safe place, and, you know, they just deserve to know the truth. And so my husband's really not happy right now with his adoptive family. So that's a whole other story right now. But bottom line is that it was like a huge blessing this morning for my husband. So that happened. And I don't know, August has been the beginning. This month has started out really, like, so much has happened in the month of August. And it's just like one thing after another. It's like every morning we wake up and we're just like, what's next? You know, like we don't know what next thing is, you know, going to be there. But it's just like, even though we've had some bad things happen, it's always counteracted with a good thing. And it's like God's way of, like, he's working this out and he's trying to show us the real big picture here. So I don't know what that picture is. I don't know where our lives are headed, but something. I don't know. His brother lives in Colorado. So I might be making a trip out there. Yeah, my son, he's my youngest son. He's a very social butterfly. He's just like his dad. And he likes to hang out with the neighborhood kids. The problem is, the neighborhood kids are not like, they're outside all day long. So they're just not very sanitary. So he gets sick. This is the third illness in 2 months. He's pretty much been sick all summer break. A couple weeks ago, he had a stomach virus that lasted for about a week and a half. I never thought it was going to go away. Before that, he ended up having a cold. And now he's got some sort of, I think he might have an ear infection. I woke up this morning, I didn't feel good. I woke up, I had a headache, really, really bad headache. All in my sinuses. I have a really bad sinus problem right now. I am assuming it's from the damn air conditioner. Constantly running all the time. And air conditioners can actually give you sinus infections. I know if I run an air conditioner too much, it makes me dizzy. My inner ear will start to act up. I think he got sick from that. I'm not kidding. Summer in Michigan this year, hot. Hot. Real hot. Summer this year came in and said, hold my beer. It's crazy. Apparently Tuesday we have a cold front coming in, so it's supposed to end on Tuesday. I think we're gonna, from what I've read, they said that we were gonna have a pretty warm autumn. So I don't think it's gonna be like scorchy, but I think it's gonna be like above average. So I don't really think we're gonna get much of an autumn. I think it's gonna be a very short autumn, and then it's gonna be like boom right into winter. So it's kind of what happened with spring. Like, we ended up having a kind of a short spring. We didn't really have a spring, and it kind of just was like gone and went straight to summer. So I don't know. Anyways, that is my chicken cutlet mukbang and my news that I want to talk about my husband and him finding his biological family. I will stay talking about that as it develops, and I want to see where this goes. It's really cool. Really cool. It's really cool to witness something like that and to see a child be reconnected with their family. But it is not for the weak. I was crying. Like, I was just like, I was a freaking mess. Peace out, you guys. Thanks for watching my videos, and hope to speak to y'all again soon.